Elders, children, and people from 2 Ontario First Nations came together this week.
Sturgeon has always been a part of our life.
These big fish are a threatened species and were almost completely wiped out from this part of Ontario. But 100 kilometers away, people from the Rainy River First Nation were able to keep their sturgeon numbers up.
The stocks were depleting, so our elders told us to do something. So we started working on rehabilitating the sturgeon on the Rainy River. That was 25 years ago.
And now a partnership between Rainy River and the Dalles Ojibwe Nation. As part of a sturgeon recovery project, Chief Jim Leonard has given some sturgeon from the Rainy River to the people of the Dalles Ojibwe Nation to help reintroduce sturgeon into their traditional waters.
The gift that they have provided our community with and that opportunity is something that's so sacred.
Chief Lorraine Kobanez says it's a great opportunity for the children of her community.
The look they have when they're looking at the sturgeon and touching the sturgeon, for some of them it's their clan.
12 sturgeon were released into the Winnipeg River. All of them have been tagged and will be monitored over the next 5 years. The hope is that they will remain healthy and reproduce.
It's been kind of the end of almost a decade of work looking at the potential for sturgeon to come back in this area.
Biologist Ryan Haynes says this day has been years in the making.
We started to do some netting to try and assess how many sturgeon were in this section of the Upper Winnipeg River. And after two years of netting, we had caught 2 adult sturgeon and no juveniles. So that's when we knew we had a fishery that was in trouble.
Back in the early 1920s, this pristine area saw the opening of many pulp and paper mills. Elders say within a few years, the waters changed. By the 1970s, big impacts meant unhealthy fish and unhealthy ecosystems, almost to the point of extinction. Paper mills here have been closed down for about 15 years now, and scientists and community members say the water is replenishing itself from decades of pollution. And these sturgeon now have the potential to thrive here.
Well, they can live over 100 years. They'll outlive you and I. They're amazing fish. So these fish we released today are teenagers, so they could easily live for another 80 to 100 years. It's amazing.
And on this day, leadership hopes the children will have learned their role and will remember what they witnessed.
They're going to be caretakers, and for them to learn this young to how to take care of the environment and the water and everything that lives in, it's part of our job to teach them to do that.
They can tell their grandchildren when they're catching the sturgeon out there that I was there when they put the first fish in. You know?
If the first year proves successful for the first dozen fish released, the hope is to reintegrate a few thousand sturgeon fingerlings here in fall 2018. Shanine Robinson-Desjarlais, APTN National News on the Dalles Ojibwe Nation, Ontario.